Yabba dabba doo! Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Mesut Özil has confirmed that he will be joining Manchester United this summer. Significant development for a player who was apparently going to Arsenal. He's already there. Going to Friday night. I had a few drinks. Friday night. Ozil was apparently going to Barcelona. He was going to earn £340,000 a week. Bottle of Wenger had said to him, you can go in January as long as you don't go to Manchester United. I mean, Arsenal fans, look, we're playing you at the Emirates next week. It's your cup final. You might beat us. But the reality is, no matter what that result is, history, we are better than you. We are better than you. We are better than you. We are bigger than you. We always will be bigger than you. But what is significant is how much we put you in the shade without even trying. You know, your manager's absolutely obsessed with Manchester United. You can go anywhere, but don't go to Manchester United because you'll go and win titles and I can't give you that. Van Persie, guard of honour, sit down and take the L. You losers. But realistically, this is Arsenal. This is Wenger. You can go anywhere, but you can't go to Manchester United. But the reality is, the brilliance of this is that it doesn't matter what Arsenal, Arsene Wenger, or anybody else thinks. If Ozil wants to come to Manchester United, he'll just sit down, play his contract down to May, and sign for Manchester United and reunite himself with Mourinho. And this is the development later on today. That Fenerbahce have put a significant offer in for Mesut Özil, and he said, thanks Fenerbahce, I may have Turkish roots and play for Germany, but I will not be bringing my roots back to Turkey. I know someone who's got roots, his name's Fellaini and he's a tree, buy him instead because I'm going to Manchester United. That is the latest report. As I said, this morning it was all about, well, 2 days ago it was all that Ozil was going to Barcelona, £340,000 a week, which made me think, well, if he does go there, they're probably not going to get Griezmann. This morning, Wenger, panic pants with his Pampers on, absolutely crapping himself, saying, you can go anywhere in January, but don't go to Manchester United. Well, tough, like I say, it's not up to you, Wenger, sit down. And then we get this story that Fenerbahce want Ozil. He said, you know, cheers, mate, but I'm off to Manchester United in the summer. And the reality is, if Ozil wants to come to Manchester United, ding, dang, dong, it's nobody else's business except Manchester United and Ozil's, because it will happen. If United want Ozil and Ozil wants United, it's happening in May. It probably is not going to happen in January because I think Wenger, you know, values his neck more than that, and he will just make Ozil sit out his contract. And from United's point of view, it would be nice to get the number 10 in January, but as we all know, our title bid could be over come January, because if City get into double points, I think it's gone for this season. So we could afford to be patient ourselves. Would you want Ozil? That is a big question. Would you want Ozil? He's 5'11". I think he's just turned 29. Just turned 29. Maybe 28. He's just turned 29. Look, to be honest with you, I look at Manchester United at the moment. I look at what we are like with Pogba, which is a very, very good team. I look at what we are like without... I don't know what's going on there. I look at what we're like without Pogba, which is very, very concerning. We saw against Newcastle. We saw when Pogba was fit, what a great attacking side we are. We saw against Basel, you take Pogba off, we become very boring. We saw with Mkhitaryan that we are a problem side. We are a problem with Mkhitaryan in the side. You know, the bottom line is, when you look at Manchester United's midfield, Pogba, Fellaini, Matic, Herrera, McTominay, Carrick. Take Pogba out of that equation. McTominay, Carrick, Fellaini, Herrera, Matic. Where's the pace? Where's the creativity? It's non-existent. It's almost criminal that Manchester United's midfield, when it comes to creativity, revolves around one player. Now, that one player, Paul Pogba, is probably one of the best midfielders in the world for what he offers, and I stand by that. But away from Pogba, if he's injured, tired, or at a wedding, it doesn't matter. We are screwed. We've got no creativity in the midfield. So, your number 10s, I like Mata. Mkhitaryan, obviously he's not performing at the moment. Has Zlatan got the pace to play that role? The jury's out. We need more creative central players. And, you know, about a month ago, Ozil, I was like, spineless bottler, I don't want Arsenal players. That was before Mkhitaryan's collapse. And to be honest, Ozil, Premier League proven, he's going to cost nothing in May, apart from his wages. Of course I would take him. And the value of the value of Ozil is actually he loves Mourinho. If Mourinho wants him, I can see it happening. I can see it happening. But you know, very interesting indeed, and we'll see what's going to happen. Creativity is the key. We've you know, with Pogba not in the team, we've got no creativity. For you know, people want to knock Lukaku, call Martial lazy, say Rashford's rubbish. Ultimately, we've been doing a lot of what we've been doing this season without a number 10. Imagine what we'd be with De Bruyne or Griezmann or Ozil. You know, a proper number 10 creating for Lukaku, Rashford, Martial. They've done okay without. Give them a proper number 10. You know, the reason City score lots of goals is because City have lots of chances. You know, even in the games City have nearly not won this season, when you actually look at it, like Arsenal, I watched them play Arsenal at home the other week. I think, was it 3-1 or 3-2? It was quite close, the scoreline. But if you actually watch the game, City could have had 8. They create so many chances because they've got players creating those chances. United's problem at the moment is, without Pogba in the team especially, but it would also be nice to have Pogba and a creative number 10 and start creating 10-15 chances a game, like a good side should. At the moment, we're saying, oh yeah, Mourinho's saying we should have beat Basel 5-0. You're probably, you know, stretching the truth a bit there, Jose, because we probably should have scored 2 or 3. We possibly had 5 decent chances in the game. City and decent sides and United of the past, you're creating 10 to 15 decent chances a game. Why aren't we doing that? Because we ain't got a number 10. So Ozil would be very welcome, as would Griezmann, but interesting to see. Bringing it back to Manchester United, if we weren't talking about them anyway. Bisto. Bailly and Jones out of the Brighton game tomorrow. I must just also say, should we do this first? I'll do this first. Let's do this first. We do this every now and again on the United Stand, and it's always a pleasure. It's never a chore. And we do have, we do have a, get your words out. Get your words out. Not that one. That one. We do have a free Manchester United top to give away to you on the watch along tomorrow. All you've got to do is download Fan League, link in the video description. It's absolutely free, and the way Fan League works is, as you can see, £2,353 up for grabs for you. But also, if you sign up, you will go in the draw to win a Manchester United home shirt tomorrow, which will be announced to the winner at 3 o'clock on the watch along. All you do on Fan League, very simple. Sign up, you'll get a free entry to do this. You've got 10 fixtures, and don't know what that is. You just go home win, draw, away win. Crystal Palace versus Stoke, home win. Manchester United versus Brighton, home win. Newcastle versus Watford, away win. Swansea versus Bournemouth, draw. Tottenham, home win. Wolverhampton versus Bolton, definitely home win. Middlesbrough Derby, draw. Fulham, and so on and so on. Link in the video description. Sign up. It's free to enter, and you could win. If you get out of 10 results, I think there's 10 games. If you get all 10 right, you'll win about £2 grand. If you get 8 right, it's about 200 quid. But the brilliance of this app is not just that. You're not just paying to win money. Once you've signed up through the link in the video description, it will put you into the United Stand League. I will get a notification, and at about 10 o'clock tonight, I will go into it. What you need to do a couple of hours after you've signed up is go into My Leagues. It will load up in a minute. Come on, we're waiting, we're live. People are waiting here. You're taking too long. Go into invitations, and I've got loads of invitations because I'm popular and people want me to join their league. You'll go into invitations a couple of hours after and I'll keep doing this every couple of hours and again in the morning. Sign up through the link in the video description. I'll get a notification that you've signed up and I'll send you an invitation. You go to connect, you go to invitations, you'll see league invite pending, United Stand. You click it, you go into it, and you join the United Stand League. Then when you go into My Leagues, you'll see the United Stand League. This is us against each other each week. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, well, if I join late, Mark, then surely I'll be bottom of the league. No, sit down. You've jumped the gun. Because actually what it does is, it's got your total score, but the main thing is your average score will tell you who's top of the league. Samuel Heighton has got an average score of 11, but yet again, like Super Brew, United Stand, 5th place, average score of 8. Sit down the rest of you, take me on if you dare. Link in the video description, sign yourself up for Fan League, it's free to do it, get your scores in, and then log back in a little bit while, and you'll have your invitation to join the United Stand League. Link in the video description. But the one thing I must say, and I must say this, is that if you sign up for the Fan League over the next few hours, or you're already on it, you will go in the draw to win a United shirt, and we will be announcing the winner tomorrow on the watch along. I say 3 o'clock, that's kickoff. We'll announce it at 2:30, half an hour before kickoff. So get on it, like a carb on it. Link in the video description. More little free games of fun on the United Stand. Don't say I don't give you anything. And also, Christmas is coming. I've got some great ideas. Carrick heart problems confirmed, says JFRK 093. Let's have a look at that. Don't like the sounds of that. It would explain a lot, wouldn't it? And there are a lot of footballers these days who seem to have these heart problems, and that would be tragic for Michael Carrick. Although he has had a career. He has had a career. We all know that. 6 minutes ago, Manchester Evening News. Okay, Michael Carrick has released a statement saying that he... Okay, let me read this. This is breaking news. Manchester United captain Michael Carrick has revealed he had to undergo a procedure for an irregular heart rhythm. 36-year-old has only made one appearance all season. That can shut up. Carrick was spotted during open training prior to his up to 30. I just want to clear up my situation. I have quite a few people asking if I'm okay and why I haven't been fit for the last couple of months. After feeling strange during the second half of the Burton game in September, I underwent a series of tests. It turned out to be an irregular heart rhythm, which has been fully investigated, and a procedure called a cardiac ablation. I had to build up training steadily while being monitored. I would like to assure everyone I'll be back and I'm healthy and I'm back training with the team, build up my fitness and aiming to be. So, effectively, this is interesting. Michael Carrick has been out. Carrick out for Manchester United due to heart problems. Which, you know, significant. It's alright, I'm still here. So, look, you know, Michael Carrick, I think over the years has been a fantastic servant for Manchester United. There is no doubts about that. Massive player for us, and very significant in that defensive role. I don't know, look, Michael Carrick is probably coming towards the end of his career, and we shouldn't be too concerned about, you know, when he's back and everything like that, because he was always going to be a bit part player. But it does explain something, and also I think what it does explain in relation to Manchester United as well is that when it comes to Carrick, that he is he's not been injured physically in relation to like a calf strain or anything like that. But obviously these heart issues are an issue. Now, people will start thinking about people like Mark Vivian Foe and people who collapse and die. And of course, that's why it would be taken very seriously, because it seems to be a bit of a modern phenomenon. Is it Carvajal at Real Madrid's had a similar sort of thing? I actually suffer from an irregular heartbeat as well, as many of you will. There's quite a high percentage with it, and every now and again, probably once or twice a day, I get it. And sometimes I notice and sometimes you don't notice it because it's not something that you notice. It tends to be when I'm resting or I'm focused on it, I'll notice it. And what it does is sort of makes you cough, and you do feel a bit lightheaded because of the irregular heartbeat. You know, you miss a beat sometimes, and it can make you feel funny. And maybe that's what's happened to Carrick, and you know, maybe he's never noticed it before. And when I first noticed it one night, I went into like a panic attack. I thought I was having a heart attack, so it can be quite a concern. He's obviously had it checked out, and it's not uncommon for people to have it. You can have a procedure where they can basically stop and start your heart, and it's absolutely fine. Some people just live with it. It's fine. So wishing Carrick all the best. I'm glad he hasn't had it at 21, because it could effectively have ended his career. So at the end of his career, if you're going to pick it, but it's not so. Hopefully he can get back playing now and be okay. So I mean, Aish says, "Oh my God, breaking news around Carrick." Like I say, it's significant because it's obviously caused him a lot of concern, and we wish him all the best. But it's not uncommon to have an irregular heartbeat. I'm sure there's people on there who've had it as well, and hopefully he can get back playing now. And the great thing about Carrick is that we all know he's been a bit injury prone for the last couple of years, but at least it's not something that's, you know, a damaged knee or something like that. once he gets his fitness levels back up to, I imagine it probably concerned him. I remember when I had it, and it did concern me. But over those few weeks where they've been running tests, because if it's something more if it's more significant than a regular heartbeat, then you run into the risks of these people who unfortunately and tragically have had heart attacks and died on the pitch. If it's just an irregular heartbeat, I'm sure the doctors have diagnosed it and said, look, you can carry on playing football, but in that time he's needed to get his fitness back. So Carrick being back soon is good. Doesn't solve the problem about creativity in the midfield, but it's good to have him back, and it gives us an option as well. So yeah, Carrick breaking news. A regular heartbeat has kept him out of the team for the last couple of months. He's obviously had to go through tests, then he's lost his fitness. He'll be back playing soon. Bailly and Jones, we were talking about that. Bailly and Jones, both out injured for the Brighton game. Not going to cry about it. I think Smalling and Rojo is the way to go. But we have spoken about it a little bit. Phil Jones injured again, missing games again. It's like the changing of the seasons, isn't it? The cycle of Jones. He's done okay this season, but ultimately he sort of flirted with being injured, didn't he, in the last international break? This international break, he is injured. He's now missed 3 games. Unfortunately, that is Phil Jones. No matter how good you think he is, he gets injured. And he is injured again. And Eric Bailly does concern me. Eric Bailly wasn't even playing international football. He's injured. And I think Eric Bailly gets injured quite a lot. But United, Smalling, I'm a big fan of Smalling this season. I think where would we be without Smalling? And also in relation to Rojo, good to have him back. Maybe play Lindelof tomorrow. If Rojo's not 100%, maybe play Lindelof. I think against Brighton, Andrew Pope signed up for Fan League. I'm getting the notifications as people sign up. Remember, you can win a Manchester United shirt. Sign yourself up for Fan League. Link in the video description. It's free to play as well. I want to talk about Fellaini. Jose Mourinho fears Marouane Fellaini will quit Manchester United. I think he's the only person who does fear it. Absolutely could not give a damn. If I'm totally honest, and I'm being totally blunt, and I will be, I don't care if Fellaini goes. Fellaini's in the team to score goals with his head. He couldn't hit the ocean from a boat on Wednesday night. Look, Fellaini's a decent squad option. I'll give him that, but we're Manchester United. We're trying to chase Pep Guardiola's Man City, who are playing great football with an open chequebook. Is Fellaini really going to close that gap? Is Herrera going to close that gap? Is Daley Blind going to close that gap? Is Darmian going to close that gap? I'm going to be critical. Is Ashley Young going to close that gap at left back? Let's be totally honest. We're chasing down a team that set a very good standard this season, and Guardiola's only going to add to that squad. He's probably going to bring in Sanchez. There's a slight chance he could bring in Messi. They're going to get better and better. Are we really going to lose sleep over the fact that Fellaini hasn't signed a new contract in the pursuit to catch Man City? I mean, that is, no matter what I've said for the last 3 years, and everyone knows I'm not his biggest fan, but realistically, even the most optimistic Fellaini lovers, let's get real about this now. We're comfortably second in the league, but we're a long way off top, and that's where United should be going for. Are we really going to sit here and lament the fact that Fellaini might not sign the new contract? Come on. If he goes, he's probably doing us the biggest favour in the world, because we can go and buy somebody better. And that, for me, is as blunt as I can be. And also, as I said on the watch-along the other night, for some stupid reason, because Mourinho really does like Fellaini, the club have allowed Fellaini to get into a situation where in a few weeks' time in January, he can speak to any foreign club he wants and get himself a massive deal. That's our fault. The only way we can negate that is by offering him probably about 200 grand a week, which would be a farce. Fellaini doesn't even deserve 100 grand a week. If we're going to pay him 200 grand a week to stay, I'm sorry, somebody deserves the sack. And, in all fairness to Fellaini, he's got to play that card. He has to play that card. Of course he does, because he's out of contract in the summer. He can speak to who he likes in January. Whoever signs him isn't going to have to pay a transfer fee. So if you're Fellaini, you say, look, I'm probably worth about 10 million in today's market at 30. Optimistically, I might even be worth 15 million. If you're signing me, I want 200 grand a week and I want 8 million signing on fee, because you're not going to have to pay for me. Now, how do Manchester United counteract that? 8 million signing on fee and 200 grand a week. We offer him 250 grand a week. Are you having a laugh? Is he having a laugh? Sit down, let him go, move on. It's as simple as that. whatever you think about Fellaini, it actually comes down to economics, and he is not worth anything more than 120 grand a week, and he will get that anywhere else he goes. He's an idiot, to be honest. His stock at Manchester United with a manager like that who lives up his backside is to stay. Of course he should stay. But from a financial point of view, he should go. And actually, if he's got anything about him, he should read social media and realise that a lot of United fans really don't want him at the club either. I thought he was shocking the other night. And I think Fellaini will, a bit like the cycler Phil Jones, he'll have a few good games where everyone jumps on the bandwagon. And then the bandwagon will get a load of punctures and people will jump off. I just preferred not to get on. I'll walk, thanks. I'm not interested because I've seen it over the last 3 years. Fellaini is well overrated, says Richard Moon. Like you said, a statue could have done better than he did against Basel. Well, him and Lukaku were the reason we lost that game. But I mean, I don't want to talk about that. Chad Sproul says you hit 1,000 likes on the video yesterday. That means you're shaving head. No, Chad, you've missed the boat there, mate. I said if we get 1,000 likes before midnight, we didn't. I checked. We didn't get 1,000 likes till 7 AM this morning, so you were a long way short. Wong Say Heng, it's 4 AM in Malaysia. I'm a great fan of yours. I've always tried to call you on Skype but failed. Please answer my call one day. Wong Say Heng, of course I will. We have video evidence. You made the promise, Mark. Can't back out now. Styson Furious. Get back, sit down, read, and go back and see what I said. I did not say if we got 1,000 likes on the video, I would shave my hair. There was a time-specific thing. It's not happening. Wilson from our youth squad should also be given a chance, says Mothier. Let's move on to the live comments. I'm enjoying this. I sort of slipped into it lovely. A bit like, no. Wait, I'm going to rewatch that video, says Chad. Fellaini is dog shit, says, oh, I shouldn't swear, Kashmir. You put me into that. Kitsuk has not been watching the video because apparently Carrick is out because of a heart problem, as we already know. Lee Carr has joined the Fan League. I get a notification every time someone signs up for Fan League. The link is in the video description. If you didn't see the start of the video, get yourself signed up for Fan League. It's free to enter. You pick 10 scores, home win, draw or away. You can win 2 grand. But the most important thing is everybody who signs up will go into the draw to win a Manchester United shirt, which will be announced on the watch along tomorrow afternoon at 2:30, because it's 3 o'clock kickoff. And remember, once you've signed up for Fan League, I'll tell you what to do at the end of the video, but just get yourself signed up. 20 times Manchester United, says M.I. Gemez. Michael Hamilton, no matter how many good games he had, he's not my cup of tea. He should go. Fellaini out. Amacondas, watching from China. Watch out. What about Super Brew, Mark, says Gents Tech. Yeah, Super Brew's up and running. Super Brew's running. Super Brew's fine. We talked about Super Brew last night. Yellow cap, if you know what I'm on about. Let's have a look what else is going on in the world of... Mourinho's obsessed with Fellaini. He's absolutely obsessed with him. Keeps going on and on about him. Cantona saying, wish we'd got Pep Guardiola. Again, another example of a player who was a great player for Manchester United, but actually talks total nonsense now he's retired. I think we do fall into that trap with the players who are legends. And they are legends as players, and that's their legacy. But it doesn't mean what comes out their mouth is anything true. I don't want Guardiola at Manchester United. I considered him, and I think Mourinho was still manager of Chelsea at the time. It was around this time when Van Gaal's last season. And it was really Ancelotti or Guardiola that looked like they were available. And I did videos at the time. I opted for Ancelotti. I don't want Guardiola at Manchester United. You know what? Mourinho is the sort of common lad who's worked his way up from the slums, proved himself, and is now living the dream. Guardiola is like the rich kid who was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. And I'll give a bit of context to that. So Mourinho started from nothing, no reputation as a decent footballer. Spent a bit of time at Barcelona with Bobby Robson, then Benfica, I think it was. Went to Porto, won the Europa League, or the UEFA Cup as it was. Following year, undisputed, unprecedented, knocked United out, won the Champions League, went to Chelsea, dominated the Premier League. Then he went to Inter, won the Champions League with them against the massively... Probably one of the best Barcelona sides I've ever seen. Probably one of the best sides I've seen in my lifetime. Then he went to Real Madrid, won the league there, and then obviously won the Champions League, I think, as well. Back to Chelsea, won the league there. Now at Manchester United. His record is from, very like Sir Alex Ferguson, from nothing to hero. Proven track record. One of the best managers of his generation. Guardiola, decent footballer. handed Barcelona, handed the best Barcelona side I've ever seen, one of the best teams in the world. Obviously won the Champions League there with Messi. I could win the Champions League with Messi. Then he went to Bayern Munich, open checkbook, inherited the Champions League winners, didn't win that, won the league. I could win the league in Germany. It's a pub league. And then went from Bayern Munich to Manchester City, open checkbook again, failed first season, seems to be getting it right the second season. Guardiola, like Zidane, very, very good footballers, and as managers, silver spoon in their mouth, open checkbook, very, very, very easy. And you know what? You can come back at me. You can say Guardiola's a great manager. You can be Cantona, Gary Neville, Steve McManaman, or Mujib Ahmed on the live comments. But I would not take Guardiola, and I do not respect him, his record, or anything he's done, because I can't judge him. It's a bit like the Ronaldo Messi thing, but I'll give Messi more credit because obviously week in, week out, he does it against great teams. But Ronaldo's proved himself in crap teams. Ronaldo is, well, I've just called Manchester United crap, in a sense. But I was more talking about Portugal. He's done it in a Portugal side that's not comparable. You know, Portugal really is comparable to England, really. They're not that good. Messi's not really done it in an Argentina side that's swamped with talent. Messi's always been at Barcelona, swamped with talent. Ronaldo's done it in the Premier League, which week in, week out is competitive. He's won the Champions League with Manchester United. And then he's gone to Real Madrid and stat padded, just like Messi has. But it's a decent example, but it's also a bad example because Mourinho, compared to Pep Guardiola and what he's achieved, at the teams he achieved it, there's no... Look, I'll tell you what, I could go, Andy Holt, it's your lucky day. Go and manage Barcelona with Messi in it. Then you're going to go to Bayern Munich with an open checkbook. Then you're going to go to Manchester City with an open checkbook. I guarantee you'd probably pretty much replicate what Guardiola's done. It would be very hard not to be successful with Iniesta, Xavi and Messi and Busquets and everybody else in their bang bang prime, not to be winning La Liga and the Champions League. They were that good. Anybody could do it. Your team talk would be go out and crack on. That's it. And they'd win it for you. Bayern Munich, you've got to be going on holiday for 6 months and not turning up for games not to win that league. It's a pub league. And he failed in the Champions League. And Man City, look, open checkbook. Inherit Aguero, De Bruyne and David Silva as well. You've got to work very hard not to be successful. And you know what? Man City are very good this season. I can't deny that. But it's a bit like playing FIFA and you've got everything you want to do. There's no challenge there. You shouldn't be succeeding, but the press love it. The press love it. Mourinho has actually got a track record that is based on actually growing, developing and starting from nothing. And I'll defend him. And I disagree with Cantona. I wouldn't want Guardiola over Mourinho. I think you're totally and utterly wrong. Ding, dang, do. I haven't gone too far. I'm defensive of my manager. But I also believe it. I also believe it. Andreas Pereira makes bold vow. And he says that he has got... Oh, I love Andreas Pereira. He's so spot on. He's basically said that I've got a good relationship with Jose Mourinho. I wasn't going to be a starting player at United this season. He told ESPN, I felt that by coming here I would play more minutes. So, let me get this right. Okay. So, Andreas Pereira believes he will return to Manchester United a better player and insists he has a good relationship with Jose Mourinho despite going against his manager's wishes with his latest loan move. I wasn't going to be a starting player at United this season, Pereira told ESPN. I felt that by coming here I would play more minutes. By playing I'll get better, I'll evolve. This is better than being on the bench where I get frustrated and it starts to work against me. Here I'm playing, I'm happy, I'm getting better. People see that, United see that, and it will help me, Valencia and Manchester United. If I go back then I'll be a better player. I'm under pressure here, but in a positive way. I'll play against big teams in big stadiums. We're second in the league. Mourinho believed Pereira could have played in United season if he was willing to fight for something difficult, but despite that stinging criticism, them. Pereira insists there is no bad blood between the pair. We have a good relationship. We usually speak in English in front of the group, but sometimes if we are alone in Portuguese, like when he was angry. He encourages everyone to speak in English, though if there's a player who doesn't speak so good English, then he'll explain in Spanish. He knows different languages. And I think that's really significant from Pereira. And I'm glad that he said it, because I'm a big Brandon Thream2 says, thanks for the contribution, pal. He says, if we get 2,000 likes, will you wear a Fellaini wig for the Brighton watch-along? If we get 2,000 likes, I'll wear a Fellaini wig for the watch-along tomorrow for the entire 2 hours. Of course I will. Of course I will. But I'm very pleased about that Pereira news, because I'm a big fan of Pereira, as some of you are. And a lot of what he's been saying over the last few weeks is very pro-Valencia. What he's come out and said there is that, look, what I'm doing at the moment is beneficial for me. It's beneficial for Manchester United. I'm playing week in, week out in a team that's second in the league with a lot of pressure. And at Manchester United, I would not have been starting games. Mourinho can say, well, I didn't fight for it. But he would. I agree. I said it a couple of weeks ago. Pereira would not be playing games in this side. It just absolutely wouldn't. So it really is fantastic for Manchester United that Pereira is still talking about us positively. And I think I look at what we're doing at Manchester United, and you know, we need a player like that who is playing regularly. So really, really important, and hopefully he will come back. Just to read Michael Carrick's statement on Twitter in case people have missed it. I just want to clear up my situation, as I've had quite a few people asking if I'm okay and why I haven't been fit over the last couple of months. After feeling strange during the second half of the Burton game in September, I underwent a series of tests. It turned out to be due to an irregular heart rhythm, which has been fully investigated, and I had a procedure called a cardiac ablation. I had to build up training steadily whilst being monitored closely, but I feel fine now. I would like to assure everyone that I'm healthy and back training with the team. I'm building up my fitness and aiming to get back in contention for selection soon. Thanks for your support, Michael Carrick. And yeah, I mean, as I said before, it's not... Look, I think we all get a little bit concerned because we've, you know, in the football especially, we've had players who've keeled over and died from heart attacks. Tragically, if anyone's old enough to remember, Hugo Egiog, ex-Aston Villa Spurs trainer, this year died in training. He was an ex-footballer at that time, but I think he was a coach for Spurs. It happens, and it's tragic. But in relation to Carrick's situation, it's an irregular heartbeat. As I said, I get it every now and again. A lot of you will get it. It's not uncommon. But for a professional sports athlete, if you are running around at full pelt and you miss a heartbeat like that, it will knock you for six. You will feel very funny because you're missing a heartbeat, so it's going to make you feel funny, and that's obviously what's happened to Carrick. He's had the procedures to correct it. It's quite a straightforward procedure, but obviously going through all those tests as a high-level sportsman, he's lost his fitness, and that's cost him 2 months of the season. So all the best, Michael. I love Michael Carrick. He is coming towards the end of his career, and we do have to crack on without him. But I'm sure he'll be back playing soon, and he'll be very welcome back soon because we would have needed him lately. Look at that, 149,299. The next subscriber will knock us up to a significant thing. We've just gone down. Great. Shut up. But tomorrow, potentially, we could hit 150,000 subscribers. So if you've not subscribed to the United Stand yet, please do subscribe. There's a good chance tomorrow we'll hit 150,000 subscribers, which will be quite another significant landmark for the United Stand. Please do, as I've said, sort of tying in with that tomorrow, we're going to give away a Manchester United shirt, and that will be given away at 2:30. We'll be live from 2 o'clock with the watch along for the Brighton game, and at 2:30 we will be announcing the winner of the Manchester United shirt live on the watch along, as I am live now with you now. And how do you go in the draw? All you got to do, at the end of the day, all you've got to do is sign up for Fan League, link in the video description, as I will show you now. That will take you to the Fan League app. Let me get off that because I'm too many heads. So the Fan League is very easy to play. It's every week, and all you've got to do is pick your scores. Home win, away, draw, or away win. Darren Jones has just joined. It's on the screen. He just popped up on my screen. Welcome, Darren Jones. So I think there are 13 fixtures. You've just got to pick home, win, draw, or away. If you get 13 right, you'll win £2,000. If you get 12 right, it's about 200 quid. 11 right, about 100 quid. And if you get 10 right, you win about 30 quid. But straightforward. Palace, Stoke, home win, United, you know all that. Home win, draw or away. But the best bit about it is, obviously, you can win the money. But the best bit about this is it's another bit of fun. It's free to play, free to enter. Crack on, link in the video description. But the great thing is, once you've signed up, I will get a notification and I will send you an invite to join the United Stand League. How do you find out about that? On the homepage, you've got play, pundits and all that. Connect. Click connect. Go to my leagues. Now, my league at the moment will have United Stand in it. But what you need to do is go to connect, go to my leagues, go to invitations, and you will get an invitation tonight to the United Stand League. Once you accept it, that will put you in the United Stand League, which is there. And the great thing about the United Stand League is it's not based on your overall score. It's based on your average score. So you could have signed up 5 weeks ago or this week, and whatever your score is, you could rank quite highly. So Samuel Heighton has got an average score of 11. Well done, Samuel. And second place, Dean Pedley with 9. But as you can see, Goldbridge is killing it again. United Stand is in joint 5th place with an average score of 8. Link in the video description. Get yourself signed up. You'll automatically go into a draw to win United shirt. And again, yet again, from the United Stand, a little bit of interactivity for us all to have a little bit of fun. I've really enjoyed the show tonight. And well done to Hamza, because he's getting a shout out because he's been subscribed to the United Stand since we had 10,000 subscribers. Vince Chapman says if we get 150,000 subscribers tomorrow, it'll be 5-1 to United. Let's see. She was only 17 years old. That's the worst Michael Caine I've ever done, Gungshi, and I walked into your trap. She was only 14 years old. She was only 14 years old. That is a better Michael Caine. She was only 14 years old. She was only 14 years old. And it gets older with Batman. Mr. Wayne, I will not watch another Wayne die. She was only 14 years old. She was only 14 years old. She was only 14 years old. I told you to blow the bloody doors off. Rubbish. Anyway, I've had a bit of laugh. Thanks, everybody. Link in the video description for Fan League. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. We love Friday night on the United Stand. A few rants. Get well, Michael. Back Mourinho. Welcome, Ozil. Pereira still loves us. And Michael Caine was in the house. She was only 14 years old. Rubbish. Don't forget. Rubbish. She was only 14 years old. Don't forget to blow the bloody doors off. Rubbish. She was only 14 She was only 14. Rubbish. Rubbish. I'm getting worse. I'm getting worse. I'm getting worse. Luke Montana says stop. It's time to stop. Subscribe to the United Stand. United are back tomorrow. It's the weekend. It's getting close to Christmas. You can win a United shirt, sign up for Fan League, subscribe, like the video. It's going off this weekend. United are going to batter Brighton tomorrow. We're real. We're real on this channel. You're real. I'm real. We're all real. There's something about the Friday night show that's just better than a lot of the shows. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Thanks everyone for watching. Really, really, really enjoyed the show tonight. You know, Luke Andrews has signed up for Fan League. Ritwat Sharari has signed up for Fan League. A few people are signing up. Link in the video description. Go to bed, says Tyson. Bharat Shah signed up for Fan League. People are signing up. That's just there's something about this show on a Friday night. I do love. I do love every show we do on the United Stand, but there are certain shows every now and again where I just go, boom, we've hit it. And tonight was one of them. Thanks everyone for watching. Can't do it without you. Imagine if this was just a pre-record. Boo, get out, boring. You're just talking to yourself. At least we're all together. Thanks everyone. Speak to you all tomorrow. We're not going to lose tomorrow. Remember, if you're at Old Trafford tomorrow, Flex will be outside after the ground, after the game. Get yourself on the fan cams. He stands between Old Trafford and Hotel Football on the bridge. Have a good night. I'm going to go watch something now. Speak to you all soon. Thanks to the mods. She was only 14 years old. That is a camp. That's Camp Cockney. Don't do Camp Cockney. Don't do Camp Cockney.